The total number of ballot papers rejected was 509, and the total number of votes given to each candidate was as follows. Jeremy Hunt, 46,656. Boris Johnson, 92,153. And therefore I give notice Boris Johnson is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party.
Well then, shit just got real. So as is to be expected, Boris Johnson is the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and will be Prime Minister from tomorrow morning. There is more to it than that. He will not be doing the first PMQ tomorrow. That will be Theresa May's final PMQ. No doubt it will be an absolute tragedy, many taking shots at the soon-to-be Prime Minister, or then Prime Minister actually at the time, maybe-ish. Not that they haven't already. There are trending hashtags concerning this, Boris Day being the most amusing. I think many of us can understand and accept here. Boris was going to win. Many of us could also accept and agree that we had thought it would be a larger margin. I perhaps thought it was nearer to 5-1. I believed Boris would absolutely steamroll Jeremy Hunt, considering the support he got with the votes that were cast. When Boris now goes to form his own government, his cabinet, Jeremy Hunt would be a worthwhile ally to have, because he accepts that we should leave on the 31st of October. There are a number of ministers already resigning from working within the current cabinet and then soon to be Boris Johnson's cabinet because they are Remainers, or they are people who want a softer Brexit, or they don't want Brexit at all. It is why Theresa May had such an issue. She herself being a Remainer, trying to push through something that was a middle ground. Well, we now don't have a middle ground. We have somebody who gave a very passionate speech, which I'm going to play some clips of in a moment, who could have a united cabinet of people who actually accept we will leave with or without a deal, along with many domestic issues that really should be a priority. Because let's face it, it has distracted. Us leaving has distracted from the most important issues in our country. I did notice Ian Blackford on the BBC shortly after this speech that Boris Johnson gave. I am somewhat surprised that Ian Blackford didn't just call him a racist on TV.
Theresa May, for her extraordinary service to this party and to this country. I know that there will be people around the place who will question the wisdom of your decision. And there may even be some people here who still wonder what they have done. And I would just point out to you that, of course, no one party, no one person has a monopoly of wisdom. But if you look at the history of the last 200 years of this party's existence, you will see that it is we Conservatives who have had the best insights, I think, into human nature.
Instead taking the preferable action of saying how Scotland is reacting to this, because people care about Scotland. Other people on a panel or show talking about this, the same show Blackford was on, took the position that Boris is unpredictable, and then continued to show how he's done for before he's even elected. Now it should be referenced and acknowledged the proroguing argument, because Boris Johnson refused to rule it out. Ian Blackford mentioned this. Fantastic. It wasn't a vote he took part in, but apparently it's somehow on Boris that he lost. No, it's Theresa May. You moron. It's also worth noting that they also talk about all the resignations, forgetting here that a new Prime Minister brings in a new cabinet, so they have to resign or he will make them resign or fire them anyway. I should point out something now because people are going to notice it from the speech where he used the word DUDE, which is an acronym for Deliver Brexit, Unite the Country, Defeat Jeremy Corbyn and Energise the Nation. A remarkably optimistic acronym from somebody who would be the last person you could think of that would say the word dude.
Deliver, unite and defeat was not the perfect acronym for an election campaign, since unfortunately it spells dud. But they forgot the final E, my friends. E for energise. And I say to all the doubters, dude, we are going to energise the country. We're going to get Brexit done on October the 31st. We're going to take advantage of all the opportunities that it will bring in a new spirit of can-do.
Well, minus Jeremy Corbyn's saltiness about the mandate and Ian Blackford's equal saltiness about the lack of mandate, Boris Johnson now has 100 days to deliver Brexit. His speech has been widely regarded as a very optimistic and mature speech, minus the cringy DUDE acronym, although DUD is quite funny. I think DUD would have been better, actually. People are undoubtedly going to because they disagree with him politically, because his life has actually featured a considerable amount in the news. They're going to use that as a reason to say, I'm afraid of him in charge. It kind of reminds me of the nonsense we get about Trump all the time, although I'm still a bit irked by those tweets. They still don't sit with me. There's baiting, then there's... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, it does, but not in this context. Boris Johnson tomorrow morning will be sworn in as the new Prime Minister. Kind of. He will bring with him a new cabinet that will undoubtedly be united. This might actually create a rather interesting division when it comes to the Brexit Party in any potential by-elections and whenever the next general election is called. Boris wants to defeat Jeremy Corbyn. The one thing that excites me the most about going up against that salty, speech-riddled guy, in the sense that he can't talk without a speech, can't talk without someone feeding him the answers. I cannot wait for them to square off in PMQs. It is going to be delicious.